Every summer, the Pacific Northwest Economic Region gathers all the infrastructure owners in the energy sector together with policymakers in the Pacific Northwest. And we talk about the biggest challenges facing the energy sector across the region. And it became apparent through the dialogues we've been having that one of the biggest challenges for these infrastructure owners is finding policymakers that fundamentally understand how their systems work. And it became, again, a huge problem that when they came and met with policymakers, they would spend all their time explaining how the system works and not what the solutions are to fix a given problem. So when presented this problem, Penwar decided to step forward and put together this curriculum called the Legislative Energy Horizon Institute. With support from the Department of Energy, we approached the University of Idaho and the National Conference of State Legislators and put together 3 modules that would really arm policymakers with the right tools to go out and make good decisions for our joint energy future together here in North America. And those modules that we put together were, how does it work? What's AC, what's DC? How do you drill for oil? How do you drill for gas? How do you ship it? The second was how do you build it? How do you put the financing together? What if you have to go to Wall Street to get the money? What if you have no money on your own books? The third was how is it regulated? What does government do to oversee not only the safety, but to make sure there's not monopolies that are forming around our energy supply? And what impact those decisions have on businesses. Those 3 curriculum together are going to cause better questions to be asked and better decisions to be made in collectively better future for the next 20 years.
We're bombarded with various issues, wide issues, probably nothing more complex than energy and environmental issues, and probably nothing more important right now, particularly with some of the environmental challenges and the economic challenges that we're going through. And certainly as legislators, we have an obligation to understand the issues and on behalf of our citizens, to make sure that we are making informed decisions, because I really do think that there is not one area today where the decisions that we're making as far as energy policy, environmental policy, I don't think there's one area that will have as much of a long-term impact for future generations.
I know for myself in the state of Alaska over the last couple of years, we have been eating and breathing oil and gas, pipeline tariff issues. But for myself, I was real light on the electric side. And so after participating in the program last year and really some tremendous programs on the electric side, the generation, the transmission, the difficulties of that, understand the integration of wind into your electric system. I now find myself, I don't have all the answers, but I know what the base questions are and I know where I can find answers to the questions.
And this has been a phenomenal program. It's given us access to such a broad array of information, and as we know on the energy issues, any decisions we make really impact the future of the energy that's available to the citizens in our state and frankly in the Pacific Northwest. And so just really have really had a good time being a part of this program and encourage others to participate in the future.
How many of you, when you go home and you begin to deliberate and make decisions around key policy energy issues, that you will feel that you have a better foundation of information for making those decisions? Good. I think that that's why the sponsors were eager to participate. You are the energy policy leaders in your caucuses, in your states, and in your provinces. And from an industry perspective, particularly mine, I think it's really valuable and important for those policymakers to have a basic, fundamental understanding of how energy industries work.
Our vision of this was simply to equip a cohort of legislators with information upon which they could then make reasoned decisions, make decisions and understand the implications of those decisions when they took it home.
So the Institute would not have happened without the combined effort of the U.S. Department of Energy, the private sector sponsors we had at the National Conference of State Legislators and the University of Idaho. The convergence of all those different organizations really is what made this effort successful in the end. The importance of having all those different perspectives is what gave us a well-rounded curriculum that wasn't weighted too heavily from an industry perspective or from a government perspective. In the end, there was a real good balance of presentations and perspectives that, again, are going to make better decisions happen in our future.